Let's be very steady. Good morning. This everybody, right? This is everybody. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nisha Clement, also known as Soli's mom or Sanaa's mom. I am an entrepreneur. My business is Shea Natural. I make all natural hair and skincare products. I started my business 10 years ago when my daughter was diagnosed with eczema. Solly told me not to say that because he said, they don't know all that. But anyway, so entrepreneurship to me is it's fun. You're your own boss. You can work as much as you want. You can work as little as you want. You don't have to listen to no one rules, but there's still rules of life. You can hire, you can fire, it's so many things you could do. You can be as creative and do whatever you like to do and just like focus on what you're doing and structure it, your day-to-day operations. So what I do is I make all natural hair and skincare products and I serve the community. I sell a lot online. It's thousands and thousands of people that I've been helping with skin issues. And I mean, it's so much more that I want to say, but I don't want to ramble on. But is there any questions that y'all have for entrepreneurship to me? No?
Is it fun is it fun firing people?
No, it's scary. I don't like being a mean guy. I like being like the nice person, and if it's not a valid reason to fire them, it's not fun because that's someone that you're employing to be able to make money. And I feel like if they're not doing a job, it's like it's a conversation that needs to be said, and it's definitely not a fun place to be that you have to have that conversation. Yes.
You were together or you hired other people?
So when I had my store, I hired 10 people, and it was fun. It was amazing, and then it was just a point that my business downsized, and I had to start letting people go. Yes.
How were you able to get on the? How were you able to get the business started?
So originally it was just out of the kitchen, making products just literally out of the kitchen, and I was taking my daughter to CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, for eczema, which is like itchy skin and bumpy and stuff, which a lot of people get, and especially during this time of the month. So I started Googling and YouTubing natural alternatives to itchy skin and what can help heal it and stop it from itching. And I started concocting and writing down all the ingredients, and I wrote down what worked for her. And I didn't know it was going to work for other people, but I just knew that certain ingredients worked for her. And when I realized what worked best for her, I knew I was onto something. And guess what, guys? It wasn't meant to be a business in the beginning. It was just meant to help my daughter. But my family started seeing, oh wow, what are you doing to help her skin? They knew I wasn't going to the doctors as much, and they started giving me orders. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this my side hustle, like my side entrepreneurship. It's okay. And I got an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, and to make it official, like an official business. And I did that, and I started making it my business. Yes.
How old were you when you started your business?
So I was 32 or 30. Yeah. See, now y'all want to something. Y'all doing y'all subtractions and additions. Yes. Which was 10 years ago. So if y'all know y'all math, there you go.
You got 42.
Yes.
42.
I'm 42, yes. I gave y'all too much information.
That's right. I'm almost the oldest.
But it's okay. Yes. So that was my first product, and my first product was this right here. This was the first thing that helped Sanaa's eczema and helped other people's, and this was my one and only product for 5 years, and then I started expanding my customers was like, can you please make more? Can you make something else? And they were requesting stuff, and I was taking their requests, and then I started making other things, and then I started YouTubing how to do other things, because this was like, I wound up mastering how to make this. It wasn't the same packaging before. It was like ugly and it was just blah. And then I started learning, like, you have to market better to sell to the people, and that's what I did. So y'all could pass this around and smell it.
This one.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? Do you
Yes.
guys mind if I ask a question? So I'm thinking that as a math and science teacher, I'm seeing a lot of math and science in what you're doing.
Yes.
Because you have to calculate numbers all the time, right?
Yes.
Your profit numbers, but also weren't you using fractions in your measurements of how much
Yes.
to put in each container?
Yes.
Yeah.
So each jar is 4
Fractions.
ounce, and you definitely want, so it's different when you just doing it for your family, but when I started doing it for the public, I had to make sure that each batch was the same amount of ingredients. So I definitely had to measure, and then I started doing big bulk. It's different when you're doing it just in a pot on a stove at home and mixing with your little mixing tool, but then I got 150-pound mixing that's like in the middle of my floor. It's super tall. It's commercial grade. So then I had to multiply what I was doing in small portions versus large portions. Yes, Layla. Wait, sorry, Lacey, sorry.
Do your hair and skin smoothie roll your hair?
Do it do what?
Roll your hair.
It does. So it has the ingredients in there is shea butter, coconut oil, black Jamaican castor oil, which is something that helps the growth of your hair. Rosemary herbs, which is another thing that stimulates the growth of your hair, and it helps with the itchiness of your skin. And then we have aloe in there, so it's a lot of good all natural ingredients that has a lot of vitamins and healthy stuff for your hair and skin. So it's a one-stop shop. Yes.
I would say growing up, I had eczema when I was like 4 or 5, and then it went away for a little bit, like a couple of years. And then when I came to school, like when I was 7, it kept on coming back and it was itching. It was getting a lot worse. I think I used to say shea butter.
Yes, so that's one of the main ingredients inside of the smoothie is the shea butter. And of course with eczema, just like seasonal allergies, it has its seasons. And as you know, I'm pretty sure the doctors tell you if you bathe too much in water, it'll dry your skin out. So you have to be mindful of how much you bathe, even though you want to be nice and clean, but you don't want to get in the bath too long or the shower too long, or don't have it too hot, so it won't ruin your skin. And you want to stay moisturized, but you want to stay moisturized not with like synthetic lotions, like the old-fashioned lotions, because it's chemicals in there. And all of my products is no chemicals, chemical free. So that's something that, you know, is really important in today's time. Any other questions? No questions? Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all sure there's nothing else that I can do? Miss Honor, would you like me to talk about anything else?
No, I really like the math aspect of it, because a lot of times kids are saying, why do we even need to use this?
Right.
So
It's important. Math is so important in everyday life, even with me knowing my profit margins. So you have to know your cost of goods sold. So like when I'm buying my raw ingredients to put inside of there, I need to know how much I'm able to make outside of this jar. So this 4-ounce jar that I sell for $15. The cost of goods, you have to take in consideration the raw materials, even the labels, the jars amount. So when I get the jars in a box, they come in 172 jars. I divide that 172 of how much I paid for it. I divide that up and say, okay, so my jars cost 41 cents a jar. Then you look at how much every time I get something, I have to divide it up into that 172, because you're looking at that as one batch. and you divide all of that up and you say, that's how you come to the conclusion of your cost of goods sold. And then I'll know, okay, this is how much I'm selling it for, and this is my profit. And the money that was my cost of goods sold, that's the money that I have to go back and re-up for when it's time for me to get more material, raw materials, to sell this stuff. So,
So, what, if you don't mind me interjecting, there's also science that I see in here.
Yes.
Because I know that when you first started, you probably didn't have all the right ingredients and all the right amounts. You probably had to experiment. So you were being a scientist,
Yes.
right? And did it work on the first try?
no.
The
So,
second try? The third try?
no, it definitely was trial and error. And that's something that I said to you guys. It was trial and error. And one key point is I had a book, and I still have this book. And I wrote down all the ingredients that I was using on my daughter because I needed to know if it was working. Like a hypothesis. It was an educated guess. I didn't know if it was going to successfully work for her skin. So I wrote down everything, and I used it for like a week to see if this is actually working. And then I started adding more stuff because I was like, oh, the more research that I did and the more that I found out this works for itchy skin, this works for calming skin, this is vitamins that seeps into your skin. And then the black Jamaican castor oil was helping with hair growth because the eczema got into her scalp and it wound up making her get a bald spot. And I was like, oh no. So I added that in there because I was like, I'm going to massage this in her scalp because not only did she get a bald spot, but it was like itchy and scabby because of the eczema. It was that bad. And the doctors, they, you know, sometimes I'm not against doctors. I love doctors because they are helpful. But steroids are not great for your skin. I'm not a fan of steroids. It thins your skin out, and if you use it too much or you don't use it properly, it could be harmful to your skin, and you could wind up looking like